Hi, and welcome to The Winning Hand. I'm Howard Drieback, and thank you for betting on yourself. Our producers reminded me at break that we're now on week 13. And I must tell you that after 13 weeks, or actually 12 episodes to be honest, I am slowly getting angrier at the topic. I'm getting more comfortable in doing what I'm doing, but I am getting angered. There's no question about it. The amount of emails that have flooded in to the station and actually to the producer's office and to my own email site has been beyond overpowering, not humanly possible to return every email's answer. But I tell you something. People are stopping me who now know that I'm on the web doing this weekly show, and they're all asking the same question. And it's always mini comical at the beginning. They go, I know somebody who, which is English for, I got a problem, can you help me? Look, it reminds me of the great story about, Nixon. Nobody voted for him, but he won. My old friend Brian Mulrooney. Nobody voted for him, but he won. Nobody goes to the casino. Yet, they get 20,000 people a day, and you have to wait in line to valet park your car. No one goes to the casino or buys $6.49, but they do $20 billion a year in Canada. I guess someone's lying, huh? I guess someone's using the industry of gambling, huh? I guess there's an epidemic of gamblers in Canada. Let alone, of course, other parts of the world, but let's just talk about here at home, even though we are on the net and people from all over the world are watching us. And I have stories in ensuing weeks off camera. I have volumes of stories from the UK, from Australia, from the United States, from Mexico, all over the world. Horrible, horrible stories about gamblers and kids and crime and loan sharking and what have you. But sticking close to home, I wanted to mention today about the types of gamblers. Because people always ask me, if I gamble now and again with money I can afford to lose, am I a gambler? Yeah, of course you are. Of course you are. And I suppose, just quickly to summarize the word gambling and what it is and why do people gamble, I guess people gamble why? To win money. They gamble because they're in love with the world of excitement that it brings. It's total escapism. In other words, forget about your boss who is mean to you that day and wants the report on his desk next morning at 9 o'clock in the morning. It is peer and or parental influence. When you see your mom or dad go to the horse track and bet on races, and they talk about how they did at the casino last night with their friends or your aunt and uncle and had a good dinner, you start thinking about it as a young child. A charitable donation. That I actually have to sit and stop and circle. We got to do a whole show on that. What nonsense, charitable donation. You imagine raising money for the local hospital through a poker night. Whatever happened to selling cookies? What is that? What nonsense is that? Look how low we've become as a society. We want to build hospitals, fix schools, and the only way we can do that is by having a poker night? Don't even get me going on that. Don't even begin with that. So we're going to come back to that. Types of gamblers. Professional. No such thing. If there is, far and few between. That I can promise you. Casual social gamblers. Serious social gamblers. Gamblers who exhibit few or none of the difficulties associated with the world of pathological gambling. Pathological gambling, which, by the way, is just a fancy word of saying he's got a problem. Pathological gambling. That means when you wake up in the morning, you're already worrying and wondering where you're going to go gambling that day and where the money's going to come from. Progressively, it gets worse. The intolerance for loss. Think about that. The intolerance for loss. People chase their dream. The oldest form of gambling is still the stock market. You don't realize it. It's on paper. You don't see it. Instead of your number not coming in, you get a call from your broker that you just lost money on the market. But you never won or lost until you sell or buy. That I get. But in the casino, it's real. It's estimated 4.5 to 6 million Americans and 500,000 Canadians, 500,000 of us, are considered not gamblers, pathological gamblers. Men, as a rule, are more likely than women to become pathological gamblers. Pathological gambling runs in the family, genetic. It's been proven. People who suffer from pathological gambling often have other behavioral problems, including perhaps alcoholism, drug addiction, mood disorders, and personality disorders. There is little doubt that gambling is going away. There is major doubt on North Americans getting help to combat this epidemic. Please join us every week. We're going to talk about these and other stories similar to this. And I'm going to try and answer your emails as best I can, either on air or from my office. Thank you. And let's try and have a gamble-free week until we see each other again. Good night.